Bear with me. But what we're going to talk about is the system. What if an AI replaces the corrupt politician, for example, instead of the working man? For years, right, the headlines have been absolute cold red. AI is coming for your bleeding job. We're being told that robots and algorithms are going to replace the working man, leaving the estates completely gutted while the big fellas get richer. But hang on a second, lads. What if we got this completely arseways? What if we don't need AI to replace the lad doing the hard graft? What if we used it to sack the most useless, overpaid, corrupt job in the country? The career politician. The old Micheál Martin. When you look at how broken the system is, especially for the communities that have been ignored for decades, getting rid of the politicians and letting an unbribable AI run the mechanics of government doesn't just make sense. It's the only way the working class ever gets a fair shake. Firing the ultimate middleman. Why AI can't be bought. Let's face facts here. A working man goes to his job every day, does the graft and gets paid an honest wage. A politician goes up to Leinster House, talks a load of codology and gets elected, and then spends his whole time looking after his own career, courting property developers and listening to corporate lobbyists. The rich and powerful have spent generations mastering the art of buying influence. They don't even need to break the law. They just use campaign donations, legal loopholes and the promise of cosy board seats down the road to get exactly what they want. And AI completely nukes that entire gravy train because an algorithm has absolutely no skin in the game. No brown envelopes. You can't slide a bribe into a line of code. You can't promise an AI luxury holiday or post-politics consultancy gig. No backroom deals. While politicians love a quiet lunch to smooth over a dodgy deal, an AI's code is open source. Every single decision it makes and every line of legislation it drafts is tracked and visible to the public, to us. Zero self-interest. An AI doesn't care about its public image, its pension, or saving face in the 9 o'clock news. It just executes the job it was given. Imagine that, giving the power to the estates and unlocking the forgotten vote. I mean, right now, the political establishment relies on a dirty little secret to stay in power. They want the working class to stay at home. They want you to stay at home and smoke your joint. In council estates and marginalised areas all across Dublin, people are dealing with the harsh realities of life, generational neglect, services falling apart, and the absolute chaos of addiction. I mean, trust me when I tell you that. It is chaos. When you're just trying to keep your head above water, filling out voter registration forms and trekking down to a polling station feels completely pointless, especially when you've got to worry about your family and the other stuff going on in your life. The government loves that apathy. When the estates don't vote, it serves as a passive thumbs up for the status quo. The wealthy, property-owning demographics turn out every single time. Every time. So the politicians only ever look after them. And if the working class community is there to speak out about housing or resources or iPass, the establishment slaps a far-right label on them, runs away and refuses to talk. So this is the great equaliser. Imagine a system where politicians are just gone. Instead, every adult has a secure app on their phone. You don't vote for a person, you just vote on the metrics, the actual priorities of this country. Do we prioritise social housing or corporate tax breaks or the working man? By making voting as simple as a single tap, you instantly unlock that forgotten vote. The massive barrier to entry is obliterated. Yes, Mr. McGregor, I'm robbing a quote. Suddenly, a lad in a flats complex has the exact same instant, untamperable voting power as a millionaire out in Dorky. Yes, Bono? Yes, right. Listen, forcing the elites to roll up their sleeves here, that's what we're doing. In this new world, the establishment loses its favourite weapon. They can't call a smartphone app far right to avoid an argument. They can't hide behind vague, glossy manifestos that they plan to bin the second they're getting into office. Because the AI will only build legislation based on the exact metrics the public votes for. The elites lose their security blanket, straight up. They wouldn't have the backroom coalition deals or handy boundaries to save them. If the wealthy want the country run a certain way, they would be forced to actually come into the estates and lobby the working class. They would have to roll up their sleeves, look ordinary people in the eye and try honestly convince them why their ideas are better. For the first time in history, the people holding the strings would actually be forced to serve the people on the ground. That's how politics should work. I mean, think of the verdict of that. Keeping the worker and sacking the suits. The elites want us to fear AI because they say it'll take away our livelihoods. But maybe the real reason they're worried is because AI is the one tool powerful enough to take away their leverage. If we protect the working man, secure the voting system from outside manipulation and use AI to execute the raw, honest will of the people, we cut out the corrupt middlemen entirely. It's time to stop worrying about robots taking over the factories and start looking at how they're going to clean out our parliament. Let's let AI clear out the doll and let's go from there. Why not talk about it? Peace, lads, yeah? But just think about what I'm saying here.